Two boys, one podcast. Two boys, one podcast. Your movie connection. When it's time for reflecting, we make fun of each other. Then do film reviews. Winner or loser. Is this movie right for you? Nope. It sucks. Don't press your luck. You better listen to us. Two boys, one podcast.
Hey.
30 days, half September. Watch out, cutting veggies, or you might lose your member. Welcome to Two Boys, One Podcast. Why do you make me say these weird things?
What? What do you mean?
You told me. You told me. You texted me right before we started, and you said that was what I was supposed to say.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally remember doing that.
Weirdo.
I mean, I'm not going to argue that I text you weird things, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I wouldn't. What you're saying? I made something like that up.
No comment.
No comment's a good comment. That's what my great granddaddy always said.
Did he say that, or did he just not comment, and you interpreted that through his silence?
He was deaf and dumb.
Both of them. He doesn't sound dumb.
He's smart, but it's kind of an archaic term, I suppose.
No, I mean, I don't think it's used as much anymore, but it is a.
What are they, mute?
Yeah, I think they're just mute. They combined it into just mute.
Talk deficient? Voice deficient?
I don't know.
Hey, I want to say hi to our listeners that listen all the time. There's that Alaska guy.
Anthony. Hi, Anthony.
Tony. Hey,
I talked to him like a week ago, give or take.
Is he a Bushman?
And what's that?
Is he a Bushman?
No. He
not a Bushman.
He said that it was negative 37. I talked to him.
Is that with the wind chill? Or
I think it was with, but it does. I'm not positive on that. And he was driving. He took a video, and it looked awful. It looks a little bit like it does outside right now, but it's 70 degrees warmer today here than it was that day there.
What's that day?
Are you in the middle of like a tornado warning?
I don't know. I don't look at stuff.
Because producer SD is and I we're in the basement right now with anticipation of a tornado.
You would have been anyways.
I mean, maybe not the basement. I live under a rock. I don't know if people know that.
It's true.
Yeah.
He slithered. He's a bit of a slitherer.
Slithering. Just
speaking of which, last time there was a tornado on the show that you had a little Slytherin snake about. I think we talked about.
Yeah, there was a Slytherin snake down. I was doing a lot of yelling on that one though. So
there might be a little yelling on this one.
It kept the snakes away. So
I think if you do get a tornado, throw a couple of sharks in there. See what happens.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah, just chuck them in.
I think it really happened though. I don't remember where, but there was some sort of weird. It wasn't a big tornado, but it was like a wind, like a small little air current.
Water spout.
Yeah, that ended up there. I don't know exactly what happened on it, but it was something like it moved like a small shark into a freshwater stream, so it actually did drop a shark off somewhere. Yeah.
Was it okay?
I think the shark was okay when they found it. I don't know if they were able to get it back to salt water or not.
I think they might be able to live in, because they talk about them swimming up the Mississippi.
That's true. They do. They do catch some. Missoula, I think is what you're trying to say.
Mississippi.
Do you know what a shark says when it gets stuck at a dam?
Boy, I'm hungry.
Hot damn.
I'm gonna eat all these fish in here.
Yeah, and then
can I get some? Where can I get some damn bait?
That's probably what it says. Yeah, you're right.
Don't skip on the yellow.
Yeah.
We got to get to that one, huh?
I mean, that's on you now.
That's a Christmas movie. There's a palm tree in there.
Hey, you know what? That was actually last year when we covered Nice Guys. It was actually a Christmas film, so I don't want to hear about your palm tree problems.
Nice Guys was like 2 years ago, dude.
Well, whenever we covered it, it was a Christmas movie.
You don't even know your own holiday.
I'm in the business of providing you good, adequate Christmas titles as a gift. So I don't keep track. I don't keep track of the gifts that I give. I'm that kind of person.
Yeah. Well, last I checked, business ain't doing too good.
check your notes because the last few years they've been spot on. Winning record. None of this 2-cent nonsense that you have for Halloween.
What was that?
That's a foreshadowing of what is to come. Supreme
Disembodied.
Dingus producer over here is he's picking sides right now. I can tell which way the wind's blowing.
You whine like a mule.
Yeah,
God.
you do.
I mean, he always likes to be called Arthur. So that's from Maverick.
It's a good one.
It is a good movie.
Huh. Well, is there tornadoes? Are they there? Oh, hi, Nick. And Dan?
Yeah.
Does he listen?
Every once in a while, he says he listens. I'll send him this
Once
one.
in a while. No, Dan, I take it back. If you only listen once in a while, I retract my hello.
Hi, Dan. I'll give it right back.
But Merry Christmas.
You filthy animals.
Just kidding, Dan. Hi.
I don't think there's tornadoes right now. I think they're coming later. I'm not exactly sure. Right now, it's just rainy, thunderbolts, and lightning. Very, very frightening.
To you or me?
To you, because you can't see them coming.
Can't you? Do you guys have any of those Dorothys from that flick?
No, we have some monkeys, though.
And it throws those balls in the air.
What?
Too many Dorothys. Yeah, from that movie.
Oh,
with
Dorothy
the cow.
2. It's Dorothy 2 from Twister.
Well, whatever. There was a Dorothy 1 at some point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was from The Wizard of Oz.
You know what the best part of that movie
The
was?
ending?
When her dad gets sucked up in the tornado in the beginning. Yeah.
It's like another gladiator moment for you, huh? Where you just get trampled and you're the only one in a packed theater that's just cackling by themselves.
There he goes.
Yeah, he didn't make it. You hear they're making a sequel to Gladiator?
No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
Is he? Did he die in the end? He died.
He did, but everybody's back somehow.
Prequel.
I don't think anybody has the physique to do a prequel anymore.
How's he back? Is there a witch involved?
I mean, there could be a witch involved.
Did the Romans have witches?
I think they burned a few along the way.
Christians? Were they witches?
What'd the Romans ever give us? The aqueduct? Oh, aside from the aqueduct.
I don't remember what else, but plenty. Written alphabet. Plumbing.
Aside from plumbing,
Cool
the
hats.
alphabet, the aqueduct, cool hats.
Cool hats.
What'd the Romans ever do for us?
Swords.
S-words? I can't think of any
Swords,
offhand.
Probably some safety if you were, within the proper Mississippi.
Nah, who were the ones that kept the Visigoths? They kept invading, right? Isn't that who finally broke through?
Yeah.
I think it was the Visigoths.
Didn't either the Huns or the other? There's the Huns, and then there's the.
Oh my God! Who the hell cares?
Mongolia was certainly giving them some trouble there towards the end before the Holy Roman Empire was the last one standing. That was more Constantinople, right?
Fuck you, Peter. Who invited him?
I didn't invite him. He's a squatter. He's a show squatter.
Show squatter.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess. Have you caught up enough? Do you want to dive right in?
We're a little rusty on these regular episodes.
Yeah, we are.
Look at this, two regular ones in between specials.
What are we doing? What is it? What's so special about a non-special?
Turned into a horse. Well, you turned into a horse there for a second.
So, I mean, to get into it, we connected from Willow, and it was a hard, forced film because it's one I've been trying to connect to you since we started. All the 52 episodes ago.
I was finally happy.
Pat Roach.
Because I finally got to see some men in tights.
We're men.
You both said
We're men in tights.
Manly nerds.
We roam around the forest,
looking for fights.
I'm looking for a fight right now.
Men.
We're men in
You
tights.
bastards.
We run from the rich and give to the poor. That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, so Pat Roach,
Yeah, that was.
who played the Scold Crusader in Willow.
I tried the terrible Jason. I'm sorry. Nothing. I'm not talking to you.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest.
Ever wonder what the real truth is behind the legend of Robin Hood? Well, here are the characters brought to life in classic Disney style to live it all again. The wonderful adventures of Robin Hood.
Our
with a
producer
mean
is
old
just
sheriff
mouthing
of
things to me
Nottingham.
right now as if I can hear him.
From your friendly neighborhood
Oh, my
tax
God.
collector.
And friendly.
Your friendly neighborhood tax collector.
My church! Ow! Ow!
My God.
Charming Prince.
You know, I'd never seen the animated version until my most recent trip to Deutschland, and Dom they pretty much forced me to watch it, and Maya didn't want to watch it, and they kind of got in a fight, but it was all right.
I like it. I don't quite
fine.
understand, like, what was the context of him forcing you to watch that? Was it his favorite animated film?
Well, it wasn't like he tied me down or anything. He's just like, well, we should watch it. We should watch it. You haven't seen, we should watch it.
All right. So the real Robin Hood that we're talking about is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
False. Well, first of all, we got to go zig, 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 zig.
Hit it. Shut up.
Robin Hood, stupid Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Yeah.
You suck. The 1991
You suck.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
I didn't pull it up, but it was, yeah, you got, go ahead, read it.
You give your synopsis, and then I'll read the real one, because that's how this is going to go.
Yeah, there's some stupid idiot American pretending to be British, and he's stealing from good folks. Because he's
Unlike
a jerk.
some other Robin Hoods, I can speak
Right.
with an English accent.
You both are
I gotta say,
terrible.
that was, having never seen this film, that's got to be the best part for me. Was Robin Hood Men in Tights makes a lot more sense and is a lot more funny now.
Well, it was only a year and a half later.
Was it?
Yeah. When Robin Hood and his Moorish companion come to England and the tyranny of the Sheriff of Nottingham,
Moops.
he decides to fight back as an outlaw, is the official synopsis.
I believe it's the Moops.
The Moops. You got a case of the Moops?
I believe it's the Moops. Ooh, no.
Yeah.
The
So
Moops.
this film, I don't care what anybody says, so I'm going to let you rant, and that's fine. But this film was stacked as far as who was in it. It was amazing.
So,
Like Kevin Costner, Christian
of stacked,
Slater,
terrible
Morgan
movies.
Freeman. We connected Pat Roach, who was not a main player. It had Sir Sean Connery,
He was
Mary
a general.
Elizabeth Mastronnano, Alan Rickman,
General Call.
Shut up, you twit!
and Michael Wincott.
WC.
Yeah.
Or wait, M's W.
Yeah, I mean he was the villain from the
Excuse
Disney
me.
version of Three Musketeers, which was very similar in his
Yeah.
role here. But
I'm aware.
Yeah. well, go ahead and shut up then.
First thing I have to say is at the beginning they left some men behind there in that prison. That's -1 sex.
What?
Yeah. It's
What did he
-1
do in
sex.
prison? He what?
Yeah, he left some people behind. It's -1
So
sex.
I do have
on my rating.
-1 sex. All right. So I do have one problem with that scene, and that is
Yeah, it left
like if you're gonna kill guards in prison, how do you not take the keys? Like, just take the keys off one of the
Didn't cross his
guards.
mind.
Like, that's all.
No, it's better.
And I give it
More-
given like there were a lot of guards on the way, they couldn't take everybody, but
Sure, they could.
or they could have killed more.
He looks that guy in the eyes. Sorry. I'm
Sorry, but he was dead anyway. That guy, like, he would have gotten him killed. He was dead weight. He was just bones. There's no way he was gonna run away. He couldn't even stand up.
How do you know that?
Look at him. He's a dead man walking.
It's been too long. He was fine.
All right, go ahead.
There was no attempt at a British accent. Negative automatic 1 sex.
So Kevin really wanted to do a British accent. This is a Kevin Reynolds film, and they did 3 movies together. But Kevin Reynolds put an absolute 0 embargo on Costner doing an English accent on this. And I don't have a problem
For
with the
what
English
reason?
accent because no one in this movie does an accent. No one. So it doesn't stand out to me at all. It doesn't take away from anything.
Alan Rickman did.
He's not doing an accent. He's English. That doesn't count. He's just doing his regular
Counts.
voice.
It counts.
It does not count.
Counts.
No,
It
he's
counts.
just talking like himself.
What about Sean Connery? Also accent.
No, he's
Why like a
Scottish.
mule?
Still British, my boy.
He's not. That doesn't count as an accent. Like I don't.
Sure it does.
They were in England, so technically Kevin was doing an accent. He was just doing an American one, if that's what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
You're telling me the director didn't want anybody to attempt English accents?
I don't know if he wanted anybody else to avoid doing it. I know that no one else did. Christian Slater didn't, but I know that Kevin Costner really wanted to do an English accent, and he was not able to because the director Kevin Reynolds didn't like how it sounded in
He would have sucked at it anyways.
It's like a fucking star wipe going on right now.
Sheep weight.
Yeah. So I don't never in all of the thousands of times I've seen this movie. It's probably if it isn't number one in most times watched for a film in my lifetime, it's second only to Hook, and never once with all the things that I complain about has the lack of an English accent bothered me in this movie. But you're allowed to have your opinion.
Independence Day.
What's that?
What about Independence Day?
What do I regret that they don't do an English accent?
Watched it. No. Yeah.
No, I don't regret that they
No,
do an
no.
English accent. That's
No,
probably
that's
top
legit.
5. But 1 and 2 would be between Hook and Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. I wore a VHS tape out of Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. Like I wore it out. And
I remember you telling me the mythical flip over DVD.
yeah, no, that it is like that. It's not mythical. It's not. I'm not.
How long was this thing? 2.5
This
hours?
was so there are. We can get into it later, but or I can get into it now. So the regular DVD, like the as theatrical DVD release of this film, you had to flip it over halfway through to continue watching it, or 2/3 of the way through.
Unheard of.
But there is a director's cut of this film, and I hate it.
Why?
It changes the whole dynamic of the movie. So in it, it's longer. It's a 3-hour movie. Among the main changes in it are that the witch is the sheriff's mother, and she killed the real sheriff at birth, or who would have been like his character at birth, and then put her own child, which is the sheriff, becomes the sheriff of Nottingham, in that role, and she wants a child of royal birth at the end, which doesn't make sense because she says that within the movie too, but that would indicate that he's of royal birth. And I don't remember if she was impregnated by the king. That makes it even weirder, I guess. And it also there's a lot of weird stuff going on in that one. I just don't like it. For as much as I love this movie, the director's cut is 180 degrees opposite. So
Probably I'd like that one.
but this one, like I really like it covers there are a lot of Robin Hoods, which we covered with all of the different sound stuff at the beginning.
If anyone's curious about the plot, for real, it's Robin Hood. You know what happens with the rob from the rich and poor. Little John.
Little John's not in it at all.
It was John Little.
All right, no, I take it back. Little John is in it. I'm sorry. Prince John is not in it. He's not in this version at all. So
Prince John. I don't even know Robin Hood lore enough. Who is that?
Prince John is King Richard's brother, who is after the throne while King Richard's
So we're
gone.
talking about Black from Men in Tights. What's his name? Something Black. Doesn't matter. Okay, gotcha.
But
no, he's not in.
He's not in it. So he's in almost all the other the Robin Hoods. But he's not in this one. And instead, it's just the sheriff is the main villain.
Sheriff, yeah.
King Richard's away on the Crusades, and Robin Hood comes back to find his dad dead. Swears vengeance, and it's just the sheriff and his cousin who are kind of wreaking havoc on everything. And then he's got his blind manservant. His name's Duncan, whose eyes were taken. So he couldn't save Robin's brother, Lord
Did
Loxley.
you say Abe Lincoln?
Abe Lincoln? No. I don't understand what's going on right now.
So some people will.
Maybe.
I'm quoting the superior Robin Hood film.
If you were here right now, I'd kick you in the shin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd grab your foot and I'd flip you backwards.
Give you the people's elbow.
So So if I can get my elbow pad off, it gets pretty stuck on there.
I'm gonna do a shooting
Pretty-
star
pretty
into a
huge.
people's elbow.
I'll have to look around a little
Rectify
bit. I can't tell, but I'm kind of mimicking the Rock here.
So there are a lot of. They're not even cameos. There's only one cameo, I guess, and it's at the end. King Richard's played by Sir Sean Connery, and it's
Sure as shit, Sean Connery. That's what they called him on set.
That is
That's
a
a fun
throwback specifically. Like he got paid $240,000 for 2 days work on the movie, but he donated it all to a
2 days
charity.
of work?
Yes, he had 2 days of work because I'm assuming they had to
So he
like
robbed
set
from the
everything up
rich and give to the poor. The real Robin Hood.
But it was a cameo
good.
because he played Robin and Marion. Like he played Robin Hood in one, and that was more
in a
true
movie?
in a movie, and that was more true to lore.
Oh.
Because in the book, the sheriff's cousin is a nun, and and Robin's hurt, and they leech him, but they put too many leeches on him and bleed him dry. Not dry, but like he's gonna die. And and so that's where the line like "bury me where the arrow lies." He shoots an arrow out the window. And Little John, and he's with Little John, and he says, "Bury me where it lies," and they bury him where the arrow lands on the ground.
Just like outside the monastery, just like barely out the window.
Yeah, it just fell straight to the ground. He was a terrible archer. Little known fact, he was a terrible archer. Yep.
Even if it's Robin Hood, he couldn't have gotten that too far.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. This isn't even an archery movie. It's just nonsense.
It's horseshit.
Yep.
It's horseshit legend.
You're garbage.
Getting you riled up, huh?
Well, there's going to be yelling coming up. It's going to be great.
Good. Give into your hate.
Yeah, I will give into the hate. In Robin and Marion, Audrey Hepburn played opposite for Marion.
Hep A?
Yep, Hep A. So Robin Hood, aging none too gracefully, returns exhausted from the Crusades to woo and win Maid Marian one last time. So.
She's in a Shudder flick. I see.
Hep A is?
Hep
She's
A.
in a horror film?
Yeah, well, it's some old timey. I say
old timey is in every Hep A movie.
Yeah, right. It's a 60s or 70s, some sort of psychological.
Is it Sisters too?
It's probably not a Hammer. No, it's Sisters too. Yeah.
Sisters.
She's with the other.
They reconnect them.
Yeah. They got all the Hep.
They got all. They should have done an all the Hep movie. They could have Hep A, Hep K.
K, not B. Yeah, Hep K. Katharine Hepburn. That's who it is.
Don't tell anyone you're in the movie business.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
I did like in the prison that they threw the one or they kicked the one guard into the fire, and that's roast turk because it was right around Thanksgiving when I watched it. And I got a kick out
roast
of
turk. That is funny.
Yeah,
that is funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's actually. It's been a while since, and I know we've discussed this on the podcast before. But I'm a big fan of Shawshank Redemption, and I don't remember enough about it. But at the end of that movie, doesn't Morgan Freeman go to like this stone wall? And it reminds me so much of the wall from this movie.
Yeah, he's got a. Was that Hadrian's? I have that note. Is that Hadrian's supposed to be Hadrian's Wall?
I don't know if that's Hadrian's Wall. It is in the trivia, but I don't remember what it was called.
Okay. And yes, he does. He goes in Shawshank. He goes.
Is it the same wall?
I highly doubt it.
Okay, I didn't find the trivia anywhere. Just like every time I see either movie, I think, he's been there twice. It's probably not true.
I mean, were they filmed in the same place?
No, I don't think so. But I don't know.
False. Incorrect.
You don't
Wrong.
know. You don't know. The Blood Oath is the only, like, there are a few things that are kind of off on it. So when I was a kid watching shut up. They were watching the Kid with the Massacre movie in the middle of the film where they all die. I was like, what? Like, how do they do it? Because I don't understand how prosthetics and practical effects work. And my grandma would be like, no, they're really dead. As a child, I was in first grade when this movie came out, and my grandmother was like, no, they're dead. And which would make it worse because at the time, I think when she said that, I was watching it in the church fireside room where they have funerals because I was waiting for Dad to be able to go home. And it's literally like there are dead people in this room all the time. And now I'm watching him on the TV in this room.
I mean, she was just joking around.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, no one did a deadpan straight face better than Ramona.
I have heard.
Yeah. The blood oath after he says like when he finds his dad dead and Duncan his manservant blind and he kind of loses his mind. The next morning he does like I will not rest until I avenge my father's death. I swear it by my own blood. They reverse the shot, so they do a shot where he like slices his hand with a knife. And then they do a close-up where the blood's coming out, and then they cut back to the wide shot, and there's no blood. And I was like, that's a me mistake. I like seeing mistakes like that because I make those all the time.
Yeah, well, for me, it's an automatic one sex.
How many sexes do you have? You have like 19 stages of sex because you like keep making like, well, you got the sex blanket, so technically it counts. Like you refuse to give anything that you have as a bad movie.
Yes.
God.
Yes.
It's going to come. It's going to happen.
Very good.
Okay, so right after that scene, we go to he goes to Marion's place to say, "Hey, your brother's dead. Sorry, left him for dead. Watched him get shot through the heart. Blah blah blah." And she does like an old switcheroo with a friend, and then she plays this Black Knight character. And that is a cool, like a really cool badass character for her to play. The rest of the movie, she's a damsel, except for that scene. So they introduce her as this really cool badass Black Knight, fights Robin Hood, kicks him right in the nards. In the process of it, he's like asking for help, and we have Duncan and Morgan Freeman outside the door, and he's like trying to break the door down. And then Duncan, the blind guy, is like, he says this great line, which we don't have because it was like because our SD laughed so hard that it was 80 yard that it didn't matter.
You twit.
That's not the right one. It was,
Unlike some other
that's
Robin
not
Hoods,
it either.
I
Come on. It's point me towards danger, Azim. I'm ready.
For lepers and orphans. No more merciful.
And call off Christmas.
And call off Christmas.
This could have been a Christmas movie right there. You're welcome. Anyway, he says, point me towards danger, Azim. I'm ready. Like the blind guy with the stick. I love that scene. Mm-hmm. I love it. But I don't understand why.
You've never seen Men in Tights?
It's been probably 15 years.
You should really watch it. Men in Tights.
I know they make a lot of references to this film. But
they really do.
I don't, and that's fine. Like I understand why people make fun of it, but I love this movie. I don't understand why Marion wasn't a Black Knight again later, though. I think that was a missed opportunity. But
well, women cinema, they get the shaft.
Yeah, but it was such a cool introduction. Like she had a great
introduction. Even I mean, that was with Willow and well, the cool gal that ended up being a maiden as well.
That's true. I mean, she switched right away as soon as like Val Kilmer. My God, it's like a kid in a candy store that like licks every piece of candy before he decides what he's gonna do.
It's my kind of kid.
Yeah. I do have to say, Marion is not a runner. She's wearing a corset though.
Oh,
she's not supposed to be a runner, but she's in a corset, and that looks bad.
That's an automatic dollar deduction.
It is odd that in a matter of minutes, like they just showed her switch. That's weird. I do have to say it like in that same scene though. There's this fun moment where they climb up to the top of the wall, and Morgan Freeman has like this monocle, and Kevin Costner tries
to say monocle.
monocle, and Kevin Costner tries to like stab through it. I think that's a fun scene.
Sure.
But then he hops down, and like I gotta say, Costner, like he's in a lot of westerns, and it makes sense because he's riding that stallion, like he's riding it bareback. Like, that's a tough ride. Sure. That's a hell of a scene. And you can tell it's him. Like that's impressive.
He rides a horse.
Dude can ride.
He can ride a horse.
And I love the moment where he's like fighting in like he's got the, I don't know if we have to take our chances in the woods or with the ghost or become the ghost
Sherwood
ourselves.
Forest is haunted, Master.
Either we take our chances with the ghost or become ghosts ourselves.
Yeah, like that. Like it's like he's heading in there, and it's just like that whole dynamic of how like they're forced in. It's just a fluid story. Like everything makes sense in that moment. They don't have an option. Like they're not like they don't randomly meet them at a bar like everything else. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna be best friends. It's like we have to go in here. They're gonna try to kill us, and they manage to live, which I think is great.
You're fond of this little.
You can go right to hell.
I had a couple of things I did like. Did you want to hear about those?
Vaguely.
Okay. I thought Friar Tuck, he was funny.
Friar Tuck he's
I don't really remember anything he said. Oh, you talk, I'll drink.
Yeah, he has that, and like when they bring him to the lair. Oh yeah, in there, and he's like, you won't regret it. He's like, aye, but you may. I think that was like one of the most endearing lines he has. And at the very end, where he was like, hurry up, we're missing good celebration time. Like he's just a drinker. He's just a fun character.
Yeah, he's a drunk.
Yeah, I mean.
And he gets to talk to the bishop, the pope, or whatever. He's like, "Oh, you blasphemous!" The guy that was backing the sheriff.
Yeah. So the priest in the story is evil, and was manipulating people.
He's skimming a little off the top there. I'm sure.
He's like, "Here's 30 pieces of silver to pay the devil on your way to hell." Then he pushes him out the window.
That's good. That's a good line.
That's a good line.
I've never seen the breasts of a noble woman. Of course, I like that line.
Nicodemus, go find mice.
Oh, those two fellas in the woods. I don't know what their names are, but they're talking like, you go right, I'll go left.
Yeah.
Which one's right?
The one that's not on the left. Yeah. That's a fun scene. Like they have a good dynamic because they're the ones that are bickering when they set the trap for the sheriff's cousin too. Mm-hmm. The one that's not on the one on the right. And then it's Bull and then the other guy. But Bull, his introduction is when they're at the campfire. Do you remember that scene?
Yes, but I don't know what you're.
So it's like, why do they call you Bull? Because you're short? He's like, no, because I'm so long. Here, take a look. And he tries to take his pants down to show everybody his dick. But they're like, no, save it for the ladies. I think that was a good. Like the whole group.
Classy.
The whole group really. Like they had a natural, it was an organic meeting, which I thought was
chemistry.
Cool. Yeah, and that doesn't happen very often. Like there were a lot of characters that you're introduced to in a very short period of time, and you kind of get the whole layout of everything right away.
Yeah, that's great.
Shut up.
Want to know what else gets a automatic negative?
You know, just listen for 1 second. Listen for 1 second.
Okay, but
that's the amount of talk I want from you right now. Just for that dead silence, you can shut the hell up.
No, there's the part where Marion's talking to Robin. She's like, I have such a tough time remembering you from when you were a boy and trying to light my hair on fire. What a sadistic little fuck. This is what, 1212? He's chasing around with a goddamn torch.
Yeah, well, she could have been
funny.
a witch.
That's not a harmless shenanigan. Or he's holding her down and trying to get her with flint. Is he doing it? Is he rubbing a stick together over her hair? Not cool, Robin. Not cool. -1
There you go. How many sexes can she lose? Like, I don't understand.
There's a lot of sexes.
I mean, you're probably operating at 100. I can give you the 7 you've taken.
It's -4 sexes.
-4. It doesn't make sense. I mean, she could have been a witch. She was trying to save the colony.
They were children.
Yeah, witches can be anybody. You had it in your own witch, like she was a kid.
No, and then he's laughing like, oh, childhood prank.
Yeah, well, it was fine. They get along fine now.
No, you think, this is your guy chasing around a young girl with a torch?
They don't show that at all. Like, they're adults now.
They alluded to it. It happened.
It's one side of the story, and he says, well, can we just say that years of battle can change a man?
Yeah, well, he still tried to freaking light a girl on fire.
I'm going to
burn her to
downgrade
death.
Everything from now on. You're just dirty. Playing dirty.
Hey, was this an actual quote or was this just me? Why would the Scottish help? I like that quote, or did I just question that at the end?
No, that's not. There are no Scottish in this movie.
Yeah, at the very end, the Scottish come.
No, King Richard comes at the end, and he happens to be played by a Scotsman.
Well,
but the real
end,
King Richard spoke French, so I don't want to hear it.
No, well, but they call in the sheriff. He calls in all those folks who weren't they Scottish?
I guess what do they call them? They were they drink the blood of the dead. They were Scottish, yeah. They were like I guess I don't know if they were Scottish or Irish.
I'm just kidding. Every Scottish. Either way, that's a terrible trope. -1/6.
I don't think that's a trope. I think that was like they were barbarian. They were
Stereotype.
mercenaries.
I don't care.
That's
if you're
historically
telling -1/6.
accurate. Like that's just they were available for mercenaries, and I don't know if they might have been Hessian. Honestly, like they
They
could
didn't
have been
call them
German. They
Germans.
could have been German.
They were talking English, and they didn't. Of course, nobody has to have a goddamn
You don't
accent
have
in
to.
freaking Britain.
You're telling me you
'Cause
would
the
have liked
director
this
doesn't give
more
a
if they
shit.
would have had terrible accents?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have.
They would have been like, "Oh, who's going over here? I'm Robin Hood." That would have been much more.
You're the devil. There's 30 pieces of silver to pay the devil on your way to hell. Why a spoon, cousin? I'm going to cut your heart out with a spoon. Why a spoon?
Oh, the Moop.
The Moop?
The Moop. Lawrence Fishburne.
What?
No, Morgan Freeman. Sorry,
Lawrence Fishburne.
I'm sorry. That's my brain is stupid. The Moop. Yeah, he's a horse doctor, just like Holly Golightly's husband in Breakfast at Tiffany's. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I've seen it done many times with horses. So the more like they.
Yeah, he's a horse doctor.
Well, I don't know if he's a horse doctor, but he birthed horses before.
He's a horse doctor.
Okay. Yeah. Or a vet. Yeah.
Horse doctor.
Don't take no mind of him. He's full of piss and wind. I really like the halfway montage. Like the score in this movie is amazing, in my opinion.
Seems good.
Like we're just gonna listen to it for a little bit. We'll listen to the whole score and come back to the podcast later. It's gonna be great.
You need to calm down a little bit.
Shut up. You shut up, or we're gonna call
What's
off
that?
Christmas.
A French? What's that? A French word?
What? A Frenchman?
Porn. What's that? A
A
French word?
Frenchman? Yeah.
Porn.
I think it's all the intro. Like Morgan Creek used this to intro the movie, or like a part of the soundtrack to intro the movie, and then Disney used it for a long time afterwards. But I think it was all trumpets initially, and this part of it there probably were French horns. But mind your manners, we're gonna call off Christmas.
Ever wonder what the real truth is behind the legend of Robin Hood?
So this actually it ties in with Willow again because the soundtrack for this part of it was used for the trailer for Willow to promote it. So also throughout the movie, Robin Hood refers to Azim, who played Morgan Freeman, as Sadiq. No, Morgan Freeman refers to Robin as Sadiq, which means truth, which means in this podcast, at least, I will never refer to you as that.
Love you too.
You whine like a mule.
Johnny,
oh, I like that one.
Johnny Depp was offered the role of Will Scarlet. That would have been a little bit different.
You know, I like Christian.
There was a rich man from Nottingham who tried to cross the river. What a dope! He tripped on a rope. Now look at him shiver.
Beg for mercy,
rich man.
I will not beg. Marion, the role was supposed to go to Robin Wright Penn, but
who's that?
Princess Buttercup from. Okay. From Princess Bride, but she had to withdraw 4 days before filming started because she was pregnant. So Marion, like, literally was like, "Yeah, I'll take it," and then went to set. Like that. That's crazy.
I don't get it. She's like she just like took a test and found out she was pregnant. She didn't want to do it.
No, I think it was. I don't know for sure, but I think probably what it was is it was within that like 3 month. Like the first trimester, and she wasn't telling anybody.
Gotcha.
And then,
Gotcha.
like, she's like, "Okay, well, I'm actually pregnant. Like, it's going to start to show during filming." So,
yeah.
Costner's horse, right when he says like, we take our chances with the ghost or we become the ghost ourselves. His horse, when he turns, broke his nose in that scene, and Costner just kept going. He's like, "Let's just carry on."
Costner broke his nose. Or
Costner broke his nose.
I only cried for 20 minutes.
Mel Gibson was offered the role of Robin, which would have been a lot different. Then it would have been
He could have done it.
an Australian Scotsman.
Yeah.
Crying freedom. Brian Blessed nearly died in his death scene. Brian Blessed played Lord Loxley, Robin's dad, who at the very beginning is like, you. And he's like, join us.
Join us or die.
And then they they rush at him on mounted horses with torches, and evidently that went very bad, very quickly. But that was his last scene. This movie
never in another film again.
He was. This movie was in 1991 was so successful that only one film beat it at the box office. Do you know what that movie was?
In 91? Lion King.
Nope. I think that was 94, 96, 94, something like that.
Aladdin.
Nope.
91. Hold on.
Nope. Terminator 2.
Oh, nice. Judgment.
Yep. Behind only Judgment Day. So
come with me if you want to live.
I'll be back. It was good. Like
I was watching some old Conan. I don't know if you ever watched when he was on the Late Show, and he'd always have that. I think it's Robert Smigel.
Yeah,
the guy that did Triumph, but he'd always have Schwarzenegger on with like just the face
with the lips moving. Yeah, that was so much fun.
And he was always going. It's kind of annoying, but also pretty fun.
It was very fun, and then he also, at the same time, he had the Chuck Norris lever.
Yeah.
T3 Rise of the Machines.
That
was good. It was good. I loved Conan back then.
Yeah, man. Oh,
I stopped loving Conan when I watched the documentary.
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, it was a bummer. Like that was a harsh call to reality because I loved him until I watched that. I wish I hadn't seen it.
I hadn't seen that. I had been hearing that he was kind of a jerk, and then he was on Comedy Bang Bang, a podcast I used to listen to.
Yeah. And
he was just a real asshole.
I think the part of the problem is that he firmly believes, and I understand he's very intelligent, but he firmly believes that he's the smartest man in the room at all the time. And that's hard to be around. So.
Yeah.
But no, those old shows were fantastic. But,
in the year 2000.
They back to Robin Hood. I liked everything, but I really liked that Robin Hood and Azim the Great One were pretty much on the same level through this whole film. Like he wasn't so much a sidekick as much like traveling companions. Like I thought that was great. I liked I don't remember what frame rate they shot the flaming arrow at, but that was really cool. I liked the dynamic that like they make Will Scarlet the stepbrother, which that's different.
Is that canonical?
It is not canonical.
Okay.
But I thought it worked for the sake of the film. And
he's a liar!
SD does not like this movie, but I don't think he watched it either, so he can suck an egg.
Did he? Ask him. Did
he? He made up like a un poquito sign, which means what that means in TB1P terminology is that he has 2 eggs in his whiskey for the Christmas podcast. So be warned.
We're men. We're men in tights.
I hope that your 2-year-old
roam around
you.
the forest looking for heights.
Sir Robin, you lost your arms in battle, but you grew some great boobs. Yeah. Now that's a funny quote from a Robin Hood movie.
That's not this Robin Hood movie. This Robin Hood movie's better. Like this movie.
No.
Like
false,
I'm still
incorrect,
I'm still
wrong.
impressed with how they made it. Like I very much am, and I really loved that Morgan Freeman's character for the leading up to the final battle where they're headed back to take the castle. He plays a leper, and then they do like the montage with gunpowder. They have the flaming arrows, but it's just like when they go to set it up at the gallows, is this your finger? And he's like, leper, what? And he's like, he tries to wipe it off on his shirt. I love it so much. It's great. Yep. What don't you like? Go ahead and just do it.
I think I've made my
You have made 0 points. You have right now it's at 87% based on your -1 sex platform.
mean, there's been like -7 sex.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, okay, 93%. She's on 93% right now.
All right, Zeke. I'll let you in on a little secret. I've just been trying to get your goat. It's fine. I liked it just fine.
Terrible. It was good. Like, I don't understand how you didn't ever see it, honestly.
I just didn't. And then you said how great it was. And
You're pulling a Dan on me, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I watched it, though.
You did. Well, I forced your hand. Just the same way that you forced me to be against you and Dan.
That's true. I just needed you to feel the rage of like somebody unfairly judging a movie like you did my Halloween movies.
That's not unfair. I stand by that.
No. Well,
you get your say on Christmas. I feel like I judge them very fairly. It's their own. They did it to themselves. SD's on your side. He's shaking his head, but no.
Yeah.
No.
This is. Should we just get to the rating?
Let's just do it.
You lie.
Talk about the extreme close-ups.
Oh, SD wants us to talk about the extreme close-ups.
Sure.
I don't mind the extreme close-ups at all on anybody. Everybody in the movie looks good. Come on, man.
Shut up, you twit!
Just kind of a weird. He's right. This was just a weird. Kind of
It's a style. I think it is a little bit off-putting. From like a
strange choice.
I don't know what they shot it on. It would be interesting to see what they used, I guess. But
Super.
I am surprised that they weren't rained out more. Like the weather looks terrible for a lot of this film.
Was it in Britain?
It was in film. Like they shot it on film. You can't just walk around with a film camera. It was they filmed it in England.
I get you. So, yeah, that's what I just asked.
I don't know if it was in Britain.
Then you screamed. Isn't it all the same?
I mean, I guess the UK proper, yeah, somewhere in there. I don't know. I mean, they had the cliffs of Dover.
Aren't they all British? They're all freak. Maybe not at that time, but they're all British.
Yeah, I mean, they had the cliffs of Dover when they come back. I don't know where that rock wall is, but there were travel days. I think it took months, like months and months, like 3 or 4 to film.
It's not really that atypical, is it?
Not specifically. I mean, especially for a period piece like this, it is a little complicated. But yeah, I mean, you can't find castles like that unless you're in the UK. So
lousy. It's lousy.
They're lousy with castles in the UK. And what is it? Like anybody can have a castle if they have a what?
Any asshole with a stonemason
there you go.
can have a castle.
Any asshole with a stonemason can have a castle. Well, I need to find an asshole who has a stonemason.
Or you just find the stonemason. You can be the asshole.
I mean, I already have that going for me, so now I'm just in the market for a stonemason.
Get the stonemason.
Yeah, it's hard to come by, I guess. If it wasn't, I'd have one already. Brick by brick.
Shitty castle. I'll push it down.
Brick by. Oh, you know what? We mentioned it a little bit on our last podcast. You know, tooting our own horn a little bit, or tooting our own French horn, I guess, in the case of this podcast. But we did have a new comic come out, and now that new comic is on Amazon. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Who the hell cares?
Every listener we have cares. You son of a bitch.
God damn it,
So,
Peter.
Yeah, Frankenstein 2 on Amazon. Army of the Dead. Yeah.
Check it out and buy it and give us your money.
Yep. Brick by brick. We can't afford a stonemason right now, so we need you to buy our
we need
comic.
a stonemason so we can make a castle, and then we can get some jerk to shoot an arrow out a window and say, "Oh, bury me there."
Yeah, that's what I would do. Bury me with the arrow lies.
You'd probably hit the damn ceiling above the window, and you'd be
Bury me in the window. When was the last time you saw somebody buried in a window? Gotta stand out any way you can.
That's a good, not a bad
It's
point.
gotta be like a new Vladimir Lenin just encased in glass in a window. Like the view's not great, but you see plenty.
Freaking Soviets.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
It is. Robin Hood is at 2:35 for the cut version. It is a long film, but
And you're always bitching about that, but that's fine for this one.
you know I don't know what I'd cut because I've seen the version I hate, the director's cut, like where they add the stuff in. Typically, I want more from films I like. I don't want more for this one. Like 2:35 is like that. I think anything else they would have cut would have been scenes that I liked, and I liked them. So there.
You talk, I'll drink.
That's fine. Well, we can both drink.
No, just me.
I mean, I am dry right now, so I need to go make another.
You boys are having some gin in celebration of the Brits, eh?
Yeah, in celebration of the Brits and Tornado Alley, just swinging on through Main Street.
Cool. Hey, let's hear you do a British accent there, buddy.
It's my understanding that the British are better silent, so I'm doing my impression of a British accent hot dog. There you go.
Here's me doing Kevin Costner doing a British accent. Dryland is not a myth. I have seen it.
So it's funny because it's the same director and Kevin that did Waterworld.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that was one of their three.
So they did make a good one.
I don't hate Waterworld the way other people hate Waterworld.
No, I do.
I think it's a fun movie.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper is my man.
My favorite scene from that film, and I'm a little disappointed that we both like it because it'd be a great podcast movie because everybody else hates on it. When they drop the flare down and the old man in the oil's like, oh, thank God. Like, I love that scene so much. It's just amazing.
Why do people hate it so
I don't know.
much? I mean, it's not an amazing movie, but it's...
Most films aren't amazing. I don't know why they hate on that one. And I made a mock-up poster a couple years ago when they made Shape of Water.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's Kevin Costner in Waterworld. It's the Shape of Water world. And it's humanity's about to get schooled. I thought that was fun. Because he's the kid. That's funny because he's the kid in the future. Suck it.
What are you telling me to suck it for?
That was to the doubters. That was to the doubters.
Yeah. Take that, doubters. Buy
our comic. Give us a stonemason.
Please donate to our stonemason.
It's basically
fund.
a GoFundMe for a stonemason.
The two boys stonemason.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. No, I mean, I don't know what the other one. I should look it up, but I'm not gonna. The Robin Hood and they had a little bit of a falling out on Robin Hood. The director Kevin and Kevin had a falling out
about the accent.
A little bit.
Unlike some other Robin Hoods.
Oh, shut up!
I can speak with
so
English
Kevin
accent.
Costner really wanted to do the accent. Director didn't want him to, and then Alan Rickman was very critical of the screenplay. So he kept like ad-libbing. And the fuck me, he cleared it was from Christian Slater. He ad-libbed that one, but they left it in. But Alan Rickman was having people like do rewrites. He thought it would be more funny, and it never struck me as funny. I thought it was all like, I thought he had a pretty
funny.
But
what did he say when he stabbed the guy? He goes, "At least I didn't
use a spoon." Because he keeps saying, like,
kind of funny.
I'm going to cut your heart out with a spoon. Why a spoon, cousin?
No,
because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more. And then it's like when he's walking down the hallway, when he notices his stitches, he's like, he talks to the two women that are there. He's like, you, my room, 10:30. You, 10:45. Bring a friend. None of that was like, none of that.
Selling himself out.
Yeah, none of that really made it seem, like really, really full of himself there. But I don't quite understand. Like, he made such a stink about it. That he hated the script so much, and the stuff that he added is fine, but I don't like the movie because of the stuff that he did, and I don't quite understand. Like if you're on a TV show, they say like the director or the showrunner's in charge for the first year, the actors and the director and the showrunner are equals on the second year, and the third year on, the actors are in charge. And I don't understand how that works, and that certainly is in place. Yeah, I mean, it certainly messed with the tone. Like SD's dead on with that because he was trying to make it seem like he was the lead. It's literally called Robin Hood, and then there were rumors swirling that Kevin Costner had his scenes cut down because he was worried about being upstaged. And I don't ever see the Sheriff of Nottingham upstaging him. Like that was never something that I was like, oh yeah, they got to worry about that. Like Robin Hood sucks. It was just a weird dynamic that they had.
I thought that.
You did not. You were just wanting to watch the cartoon again in Germany. Doing a podcast from the train. You lie. Here's 30 pieces of silver to pay the devil on your way to hell. But overall, I thought it was a cool movie. Like it was like you have. It's better. It's better than the Robin Hood that they did with Russell Crowe.
Didn't see it.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, I put this one with like Kingdom of Heaven. They're just fun films.
I haven't seen it.
Really?
No.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Is that Jerusalem?
It's in Jerusalem. So, all right, you ready to wrap it up?
Sure.
All right. It's your turn.
You got one choice, boy.
There we go.
Sex or the song?
You got to do the thing. Oh, you got to. All right, we're rating it, and then you got to do the thing. You're right. You're right. I'm so out of practice. We haven't done a special in a long time.
This isn't a special.
It's special because it's not special. Do your thing.
Brother. All right. Sex or the song. We got -7.6 deduction, giving us sex.
Yeah, buddy.
One night stand.
What? One night stand? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's fine.
Yeah, it is fine. I hear it.
Oh, God. I would say
Oh, God.
out of 299, I would give this... I think I did it right. It's I'd give it 250. I think you should see it if you haven't
Incorrect.
seen it.
Wrong.
So I think it comes to like an 79, 80%, something like that.
Probably around there, and I'd probably drag her down to a 70 or 75.
Yeah.
It's fine. Go check it out. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it is on Netflix. It's not always on
free.
Netflix. Like it comes and goes on Netflix. So
it's a joke because you pay for it.
it is. But I mean, yeah, Brian Williams did on some of, not all of, and not on Netflix, I don't think, but there's like about 50% of the versions that you'd see, he has a music video at the end of the movie with this song. The good version of this song. I don't know where you found this.
I'm very, very not interested in that.
It is only mildly concerning to me that our producer has so much time to dig this shit up when I know how busy he should be on other things.
Well, it probably takes a second.
Oh my God, it does not.
I mean, he's doing it right now. You know, he's watching the levels, but he's pulling the stuff right away.
Okay. All right, so we have a 75-ish. I can live with that. That's a solid number for our podcast. That's a win. I'm glad you got to watch this movie. You're welcome.
Go fuck yourself.
Look into my eyes. It's good.
Yeah, 30 silver.
I really like it.
All
You know,
right.
I like For the Trees. For the trees.
We know you like it.
For the trees. Like the battle was great. I loved it.
Yeah, the battle was cool. Now, would you shut up? You love it. I
Yeah.
know. You want to kiss everyone, and
it's a victory. I'll take the small victories.
Well, are you ready to choose your death?
I have seen our death. Yes, hit me.
Alrighty. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so through Michael Wincock.
Yep.
He was Guy of
Gisborne. He's got a great voice.
Yes, he
does.
All right, you got two from him. One is Strange Days.
Okay.
It's a 99. A former cop turned street hustler accidentally uncovers a conspiracy in Los Angeles in... Oh. Hold on, my screen went away. In 1999. Okay, so it's actually a 95 movie.
Okay.
About. And just so you know... It actually looks pretty interesting. It's got Ralph Fiennes, Angela Bassett, Julia Lewis, Tom Sizemore, Wincott, Vincent D'Onofrio,
Vinny.
Somebody named Richard Edson.
Some dude. All right.
William Fitch. Okay. And then the other one from him is The Crow.
I haven't seen The Crow.
Yeah, I'm aware. A man brutally murdered comes back to life as an undead avenger of his and his fiancee's murderer.
Okay. What else?
And through Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Highlander. An immortal Scottish swordsman must confront the last of his immortal opponent. I think that should be an S. An immortal Scotsman swordsman must confront the last of his immortal opponents, a murderous, brutal barbarian who lusts for the fabled prize.
There can only be one.
Zeke. There can be
only one.
Only one.
All right. Is it just those three?
Yeah.
All right. I was honestly expecting just to force me into one of those, but clearly, you put some.
Still might happen.
For me, it's between The Crow and Highlander, and I haven't seen either of those. Was why, and that was why it's eligible. I don't know which one to pick. Like, force me into one.
There can be only one.
You want me to pick Highlander?
There can be only one.
All right, let's do Highlander.
Yes. Good.
I can't believe we haven't covered Sean Connery before.
Nope, that's the first time. We had options to get to Highlander before. I don't know who threw it. It wasn't him.
No, we had the option with him before because of your terrible trilogy.
007.
No, not 007. Your garbage trilogy where he played like the King Menidas or something like that.
Yeah, and also
Time Bandits. No, he wasn't in the 007 that we covered.
Oh, who?
It was Roger Moore.
007.
Suck it.
Roger Moore?
I think it was Roger Moore, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Roger Moore?
Was it Live and Let Die? He only died twice.
Roger Moore? Oh, Roger Moore?
Yeah, Roger Moore. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay. All right, everybody. Stay tuned. Next episode will be the 12 Days of
12 Days of Dying. I'm not a crook.
And then he is a crook. And then after that, it will be Highlander.
There can only be one.
I haven't seen that since I was a wee lad.
I haven't seen it ever. I'm looking forward to it. Like both The Crow and Highlander, I gotta give it credit. Like those are both good choices. So, and that was one of the things that I really liked.
Strange Days look pretty.
It
cool.
does. It sounds cool, but that was one of the things I really liked about this movie for the podcast specifically for Robin Hood is that we have so many outs. Like we're not screwing each other over. We can actually.
And, you know, I was going with Christian Slater. There's a couple.
Yeah,
cool
you
flicks
mentioned
in it,
Heathers,
too.
and I haven't seen that.
Pump up the volume.
I haven't seen that either, and I hear there's a lot of great quotes. It made my quote book, but I haven't even seen it yet. Yeah.
Well,
next time we'll see. We'll bump it off down the road.
Everybody, hey, remember, don't be a sucker. It's been a slice, and if you need us, just use whistle.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Unlike some other Robin Hoods. Unlike some other Robin Hoods.
The portions of today's broadcast that you actually enjoyed are brought to you in whole by
Brain detergent. Is your mind rubbish?
Yeah.
I mean, is it straight up trash?
You tell that to me all the time.
Have I got a deal for you?
Do you?
That's what I just said.
That's what I just asked.
Shut up and listen. It's high time you cleaned up your act by cleaning out your brain.
You talking about that limonizing my brain?
What?
Yeah, that's what you're saying, ain't it? Well, beat it, bub. I'm not letting anybody lipo-suck my noggin.
Are you crazy?
Nah, that's the point.
It's lobotomy, not whatever word you just butchered, and that's not what I'm talking about.
It isn't?
No!
Well, okay, then. I'm all ears, then.
You know, I'm not sure there's a word for the kind of stupid you are.
Well, stop using me as your lab rat for your new scams.
This isn't a scam. It's a brain cleaner.
I don't like it. I don't think I like it.
It's to clean out your trash mind and get a fresh start.
I don't think I need it.
And you're the case in point of exactly the type of person who needs this brainwash. You wash dishes, don't you?
Disposable only.
What about your car?
I wait for the rain.
What about yourself? Don't you have basic hygiene?
You know that I don't.
For God's sake, man, have some self-respect.
What I got is a pain on the neck always screaming on me.
You're beyond redemption. A cautionary tale. People, listen to me, please. Don't be like this idiot. Use this new brain detergent now before it's too late to clean up your act.
All right already. All back. How did you play?
It's not a game. It's a cleaner.
See, I think that's your problem. I think more people would want to play if your game was fun.
What's the matter with you?
Nobody wants to play with me.
Come on. It's simple. All you gotta do is rip, crush, snort, and bam.
Did they die? That all sounded painful.
No! That's how the product works.
Are you sure it works?
That's it. Don't be like this goon. Get your brain washed today. Don't take my word for it. Just look at the alternative. Clean up your act with the brainwash today. You'll love it.
I smell great.